Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday, and that was a good start. It's a good start right there. Okay. All right. So now that we're off on such a great note, I don't know. We're just gonna keep trying. Ultimately, that's what we're here to do. Is we just keep trying until it works out. What? Oh god. I did it. Ow. I'll tell you, just to immediately get off topic, because this level is a whole lot of... It's a bit grindy. No pun intended. Are these... Oh yeah, because they do call these, the blades there, they call them grinders. So yes, no pun intended, except... Well, yeah, no, it wasn't intended. Point is, trying to distract myself from the game so that I do better at the game. One thing that I have done recently, in fact, it was yesterday. One thing I did yesterday that I was pretty proud of is if you follow my stream or if you look back at the streams, you'll see that I was playing Metroid Dread on stream. And I really liked it. It's a very good game. Highly recommend. But I was playing Metroid Dread, and I finished it on stream. And what I did yesterday is I went back and I played through it on hard mode, except I tried to... I didn't have a timer or anything, but basically I did a speed run of hard mode of that game. Just trying to beat it as fast as I possibly could. And... according to in-game time, again, I didn't have an actual timer going, but according to in-game time, I beat it in 4 hours and 7 minutes, which is fantastic because my in-game time after the first run in normal mode was 11 and a half hours. So I did a lot better. And that was in a harder difficulty. And I felt really good about that. It's like, wow, granted, in the first run, I 100%ed, and that added, I 100%ed the game, getting all the items and stuff. And that took me an extra 3 hours or so, maybe 4. But ultimately, I beat hard mode in about half the time that I did easy mode, or normal mode. It's not easy. Even the normal mode in that game is not easy. I died quite a number of times. Calling it easy mode would be admitting that I'm bad. You know, obviously that's not the case. So, yeah, normal mode. Yeah, so I feel good. I feel good that I managed to beat Metroid Dread on hard mode in 4 hours. And yes, there are plenty of people who can do it faster. I happen to know that the current world record for a Mario Dread speed run, any percent, presumably on normal mode, because that would be faster. And ultimately, it's basically the same. It's just hard mode, you take more damage. But the current world record is about 1 hour and 22 minutes. So could I have done it, or could I have been faster? Probably. In fact, there are a number of easy things that I could have done that would have sped things up, like not saving the game. I did that a number of times. Like at least a dozen times I saved the game. And that takes time. That takes like a second at least. Even more if you're not saving after like a talk with Adam or whatever. So yeah, there's some easy time save if I were to do it again, and I probably am going to do it again. I'm probably going to play again on normal mode and play as fast as I can, because I know Metroid is one of those series that actually rewards you for beating the game with specific times, like even since the first game, I believe. So I want to do that. Could have twirled, and I think I would have got it. So yeah, I might even do such a thing on stream, because the biggest thing for me is whether I could beat the game in one sitting, and that's what I did yesterday. on hard mode. So if I played normal mode, I could beat it in... I know that I could beat it in one sitting. And potentially even within one stream. Because again, it took me 4 hours on hard mode. If I were actually trying to speedrun on normal mode, then it would probably take me less, assuming I don't reset. I don't tend to reset on my speedruns, so... Yeah, there are very few times that I've reset, because if you didn't know, I have done speedruns. I've done, specifically, I did speedruns of Mega Man X in the past. And I kind of want to do more of those as well. But my issue is I kind of hit the point where I stopped making progress consistently. So I'm a little... It got less fun for me, is the deal. Right, it was fun as long as I was making consistent progress, but now it's like, okay, you're not... I'm not making consistent progress anymore, so it's harder for me to see any sort of improvement that I'm doing, and that naturally happens, as far as I can tell. When you're speedrunning, you get to a point where making any progress is incredibly rare when it comes to your personal best. But I don't know, I'll probably try it again just for funsies. You know, I'll probably do it on stream just for something to do, really. Because, like, I guess I have plenty of things to do in actuality for stream, but I don't... well, it seems like it would make for a fun stream, you know? Like, I know a lot of people who... A lot of the people who do a lot of speedruns, they stream when they do it, because it's a relatively easy thing to stream. In fact, it arguably takes less attention to speedrun a game than it does to play a game for the first time on stream, or to play a competitive game on stream, like, say, League or Valorant or Apex or whatever. Because you're not, it's basically, the majority of it is muscle memory. Like, even, it's muscle memory and just, like, letting your brain read the game, like I am doing right now, and it seems to be working, but now that I am talking about it, I am pretty much doomed to fail, just like right there. Yeah. You're basically leaving it up to muscle memory and, yeah, instinct. Which is why a lot of speedruns can just, like, look at the chat occasionally, even when there's stuff going on stream, or on screen. Because, you know, it's they basically, their body has figured out the motions. So they don't really have to pay as much attention to it, and they can talk to chat and stuff while they're playing, which is cool. I think it's pretty neat to be so good at a game that you can not pay any attention to it and still play it better than most people play when they're paying attention. I think that's a cool thing. And that's probably one of the things that drew me to speedruns, to even just watching speedruns, is that just this idea of, like, yeah, they've done this so many times that they can just focus on other things and still do pretty much the best they've done ever. I think that's pretty neat. I do like watching speedruns. And even, like, watching speedruns from people who don't do a lot of speedrunning, even that's pretty fun too. Because it's fun watching people just figure out either how to do, like, specific tech, or, well, and that's actually, I should say, that's much like with my own speedruns, people who haven't done a lot of speedruns of a game will make a lot of progress on their first few runs of a game, right? That happened with me, where I think my first time the first time I actually timed my run in Mega Man X, I was at like an hour and a half. And then the next, I think it was exactly the next run where I cut it by 15 minutes, which is a lot. It went from an hour and a half to like an hour 15. And then from there it went to like an hour 5, and then like an hour, and then 50 or 55 minutes, and then 50 minutes. And then that's when it started to slow down. And now my personal best, which isn't on the internet, by the way, because I kind of hit a bit of a roadblock on the videos, putting out the videos. I'll get it sorted out eventually, but my current personal best is 45 minutes and 26 seconds, I believe, which is pretty solid. Like, yeah, there are a lot of people who run Mega Man X, and I think that time puts me around like 1/60th, which is pretty cool. You know, and there's still plenty of room for improvement, but not nearly as much as there was, which is why I don't feel quite as compelled to play anymore. And I don't know that I'll ever get to the point where I'll be so into speedrunning that I can grind out a world record or anything. I think for most games, I'll probably just get to that point where like I stop making significant progress and be like, okay, that's good enough for me. And I think that's fine. You know, I think the cool thing about speedrunning is ultimately you're really just competing against yourself. Unless you really want to get that world record, you're pretty much just competing against yourself. So you can really just stop whatever you want. I think that's the neat thing. Like speedrunners, one thing that I've heard a lot of speedrunners say about speedrunning is that you don't really want to start with the mentality of, I'm going to get the world record, right? Because then your first few runs are going to really, really beat you down because they're going to be bad. They're not going to be anywhere near world record, and you're going to feel bad about it. So what they suggested and how I've done it is just do a run without really timing. Well, the first step, they say, is to just beat the game. Just beat the game normally. Don't even try like any sort of speedrun tech unless, you know. Well, don't try to like brute force your way through the game, because hey, that's something that I tried in my first runs. Because I tried to just brute force through the game and I ended up spending more time because I ended up dying a lot. But like, don't try to like brute force your way through the game. Just play through it normally and beat it. And so you know, basically just so you know, so you're sure you know, so you're sure that you know what you need to do, because, you know, maybe you're not playing a game that you've beaten before, right? Like if I wanted to speedrun Gravity Rush, I could do that because I played that game. And I wouldn't have to, like, I know the basic gist of what I need to do to beat the game. But if you're doing like a blind speedrun, then it's gonna be it's gonna be a lot slower. So yeah, first attempt, don't even time yourself. Just complete a run, beat the game, or finish whatever category you're doing. Like, you know, if you're doing Mario Odyssey and you're doing nipple percent, then, you know, get that shirt off. And that's the first step. And then once you've done that, then you just time yourself and beat it normally again. And also the first thing that first run does is it gives you a rough estimate of like how much time your runs are going to take in the start. It's like that first run I did, basically gave me the expectation, okay, so a run through of Mega Man X currently is going to take me about an hour and a half. And that's that you're basically the first time you beat the game is basically to figure out what you're what you're trying to do, you know, how to beat the game basically. Then your next run, which I guess you time, is being like, okay, about how long is a run going to take me? And that you're setting the expectation there as to how long it's going to take. And then from that expectation that you set, try and set a goal, right? So like, I think my goal originally, I kind of forget, but I think my original goal for Mega Man X was after that first hour and a half run, I'm like, okay, I want to do like an hour and 20 minutes. And then I ended up beating that on the next run, and that felt really good. So yeah. And that is the advice that I have heard from other speedrunners that also seems to have worked for me. So if you're thinking about speedrunning, man, go about it that way. And once you meet your goal, your time goal, if you want to keep playing, then set another goal that's lower, of course. Like after I beat my hour and a half time, or after I beat my hour 20 goal, I was like, okay, maybe I can beat it in less than an hour, and then I did. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can beat it in less than 55 minutes, and then I did. So yeah, just continually keep setting goals for as long as, you know, lower and lower goals, as long as you're having fun. And then, you know, stop when you're not having fun anymore. And like, there's plenty of games that can be speedrun. So like, if you get bored or frustrated speedrunning a game and like you're not super dedicated to getting a world record, just finish that last goal and then you just move on to something else. Because there's tons of games that you can speedrun. Right, some of the popular ones are like Mega Man X, or the original Super Mario Brothers, or Ocarina of Time, or anything like that. And maybe we'll just speedrun this level next time. Because as for this episode, that's a wrap. Do like my run.